if you were to ask him honestly, he's operating at 120%.
He rinsed me once before winning a game.
He looked fooked. But yeah, like you said, it's all about Northampton.
Yeah,
And
they were great.
Yeah, they really were.
Where'd you go? Scrum was great. Curtis Langdon has to be on the plane for England, I think. You know, I'm not saying ahead of Jamie George. I'm not saying ahead of
Theo Dan.
But
he's definitely, come on.
Like Theo Dan comes on and he adds impetus, right? We've seen what an explosive athlete is. Curtis Langdon isn't a big name, but if you probably spoke to a lot of the Northampton players and who do you want on the pitch at hooker, you're having him. Like, he puts it about properly. Graphs, good at set piece, good at line outs. I thought he was brilliant. Courtney Laws was big. Alex Coles, how good was he?
Wicked.
Brilliant.
Proper second row.
Burger, my old Burgers.
Rob was texting me, who's this lad?
He was at Wasps.
What's his story?
He was at Wasps.
But where's he from?
South Africa, my bro.
Of course he is.
Yeah, Burger.
He was awesome at Wasps. I remember watching him.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking lad was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Of course, he's South African.
Yeah. He played really well.
Tommy Freeman on the wing. Under the high balls.
Tell the high ball, the contestables.
He is like an international
dream. He is an international.
But the basic skills under pressure, like them big moments under the high ball, which has changed now. You think it's like the old schools will be thinking, well, a winger, you've got to be quick and score tries. Well, no, there's a lot more to it, and he almost seems like a complete winger. Yeah. Keep going.
No, I mean, Furbank seed.
Lovely.
For Aldendale's try.
I love him, actually. Yeah. Big fan of Furbank.
We got away with one.
What?
One thing Christoph Ridley and the TMO did miss. TMO Andy's here. See the high shot?
Yeah. I knew you were
shoulder to head.
Yeah, but you can pick out. So, go on, Rob. Hang on.
In the tackle, mate.
Hang on, Rob's face. Go on, Rob.
Yeah, I'm not sold.
He's not sold.
You're not sold. That's because you're like, fucking smash them. You're
just
fucking doesn't matter, man.
He's just not sold.
It was shoulder to the head.
It was
a yellow.
But there's loads of moments like that.
Yeah, but it was a tackle. It was a proper. I thought he's got away with one. And then a few minutes later, he puts the seed in for.
So you're saying Saracens were robbed because they only lost by 2 points and he's such a big player.
Well, they ran out of steam because they were celebrating the knock-ons in the first. Oh no, it's 20 minutes in. It's a knock-on. No, but Furbank seed behind Tompkins' back through the eye of a needle for Odendale's try. It was brilliant. What about? We've been raving about Mitchell for a long time. Mel Gregan seed round the back at the breakdown for the break, gets the ball back. Thinks he scored. Gonzalez from nowhere.
Rapido.
And if you watch, he arced his run, Mitchell, didn't he? And then the fridge just kicked in on his back, just a metre from the line. And Gonzalez, geez.
He looked fooked.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way that they play.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I'm not going to say.
Don't be horrible.
What's about, as in playing that style of rugby?
Yeah.
Scrum half, you've got to be
But they're nice to watch, aren't they? Like
they're so good.
Yeah. And Saracens took the game to them in the first half, physical. I think they got 6-0 up or something. And then eventually it kicks in for Saints. Discipline comes an issue for Sarries. Sarries got tired in the second half and Saints put in some shapes on him. Finn Smith, his control, didn't have a game of worldy moments left, right and centre, but just his match control, his goal kicking, putting boys in space and just pulling the strings for his team and understanding what it took to win a semi-final.
Against Owen Farrell, who's been
and
there
Faz
and
was
done
great.
it. Yeah.
People said, he was injured. His injury, I don't think, affected him. He didn't goal kick. Elliot Daly goal kicked and kicked very well off the deck. But Faz, what about the outside break and then the grubber kick through?
That's lovely, that.
Lovely. Speedy as well. I didn't know Faz had that drop of the toe and then nice little outside break. But it's all about Saints. The noise in Franklin's Gardens as well was outstanding. Again, it's two proper rugby clubs in the final, isn't it? You know, Saints they've been playing this brand now for a while. We love Sunvesty, aka Red Bulls, aka Knob Cheese. Any others, Jim?
Producer Rob here, and before we get back to the action, let's talk about online security and VPNs. I trust NordVPN to keep my data safe, and you should too. With NordVPN, you can access rugby content from anywhere in the world, and you know that you're going to be doing it safely. And we've got an exclusive deal for RugbyPod viewers. You can get a massive discount and 4 extra months for free. So protect yourself online and support the RugbyPod by signing up at www.nordvpn.com/RugbyPod. Stay safe, stay connected. NordVPN has your back.
But you look at the profile of the Northampton coaches, young. You listen to people who are in and around that squad and know the way that Phil Dowson, who I don't think we've even said Phil Dowson on the podcast enough.
Yeah.
I think he's my age. Played against him.
Yeah.
Loads. Warrior of a bloke. And to take that role as a young man and do what they've done. And we know that Chris Boyd still has touch points on the Northampton team and dials in.
He took over from Boyd. My old coach from the Sharks, Boyd. I used to be his taxi driver.
Why were you taxi driver? You got done for drink driving or what?
No, he wasn't in South Africa properly on a permit, so...
You couldn't drive?
I don't know. I had to basically... He lived near me, so I had to take him everywhere, and it got me picked in the team at the Sharks.
Well, I didn't realise he was your coach at the Sharks. You mentioned before.
And he kind of changed their mentality and their attack mindset.
Mm.
And then, obviously, Dowson, Vesti, and some of the other coaches have taken it on. And they play a great brand, don't they?
Yeah. And they're a great club.
I know Mike Courtney, he's getting better.
I don't know if he's getting better.
He is, mate.
We'd like to think
just
so.
at levels that he's there.
Well, he said after the game about how fucked he was.
Yeah.
And
no doubt, he's putting it in for.
Of course he is.
Banging
and
boys.
He's operating, I would say, if you were to ask him honestly, he's operating at 120%.
Yeah.
Because wants to die for the club.
Yeah, I don't think he does much in the week.
That's so he's getting better and better. I think he is holding on to win Northampton this Premiership. What a way to go out!
Yeah,
and then
in his
poor Breve, poor Breve going to go limping into.
Well, Breve have unfortunately lost the playoff game, so they're in Pro D next year.
There you go. So actually, Courtney Lawes in fourth gear is probably still monitoring people, but what a story around him as well. You think about what he's given to the club, and that's what we want. We want stories around it, and that's why it's so hard to call, because two traditional clubs, the old school, is still alive in rugby.
Yeah. Talking about back rows though as well, Courtney was amazing. Augustus doesn't get enough credit.
Oh gosh, Augustus, where are you from?
Another South
Africa to surf. Yeah. We'll talk of him being the next 8 for South Africa. Yeah. So recruitment.
He was brilliant.
There you
Augustus.
Go. And
Pearson as well in the back row.
Of course.
Loves
the fact that the skipper, Lewis Ludlam,
was
on the bench and he's leaving as well. So there is a slight change of guard.
Yeah.
But an easy team to follow. Brilliant stadium. Played there loads as a youngster as well.
Best pitch in the Premiership.
There you go. So it's the back room staff and Phil Dowse. That's what I was coming on to. It's great. Great club. Who am I following at the weekend?
James. Tough one, isn't
but
it?
Again, all you Northampton fans like laughing at me at the weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
you ain't
allowed to support.
You ain't supporting Northampton, are you?
I don't know.
Well, should we talk about it, Jim?
Which bit?
Who are we supporting this weekend?
And again, these are two clubs that neither of us should be supporting because of Leicester Northampton history, Sarries Northampton history,
Leicester Bath history,
Gloucester Bath
history,
Jim Bath,
Worcester Bath.
No. Rob, who are you supporting?
Rugby is the winner.
I
Yeah,
know where he's going with this. You got to pick one.
See, I'm a massive Finn Russell fan.
Yeah,
but I like that Saints team. And I think they probably deserve it, don't they, for the way they've played.
Yes, because they finished top.
You deserve
anything in sport.
You deserve nothing in this game.
And, there's a lot. The criticism against Bath is that they've kind of bought their way to this point, haven't they?
Hang on. Hang on. We've just had Ollie Lawrence on.
Oh.
Well, so they've dropped £1 million on Finn.
Yeah.
That's sport.
They've dropped a load of money on Van Graan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dropped a load of money on
there's
Ted Hill, Ollie Lawrence.
I mean, they'll have picked them up cheap though, won't they?
There's something in this, Rob. I see where you're going here. Keep going.
So it's like, whereas Saints have developed this team and the culture and brought in,
very true.
Brought in like Lee Radford, he'll come.
They came on the pod. Came on the pod. Finn Smith,
yeah.
They got rid of Biggs and then...
and brought Finn, yeah. So
okay, Rob, this is a great position.
Fraser Dingwall through the academy.
Keep going, Rob.
That was it, lads.
That was it. That was
what I want. But I also do really love Finn Russell. Yeah. Like, he's probably one of my favourite players to watch. Ollie Lawrence is class. So I mean,
I'm easily manipulated.
Yeah.
And I didn't think, Rob, and I love you and I respect you, I didn't know whether you would be the man to convince me. I thought it was going to be like me and Andrew going back through the archives, the weeds and most supported club and the brand of rugby, and there's nothing to choose.
It's hard to call, isn't it?
But I think Rob has sold me a biscuit
because of their academy and they're producing their own players and not going the checkbook.
And that, and I like the checkbook. I like the checkbook, and you like the checkbook as well. I don't care. Man City. Sorry, don't fucking.
Man City got 160 odd charges against them.
I'm for it. Write the checks, bring the best players in, and do your business that way. But Rob, that is a. Did you prep that or not?
No, I saw it on Twitter. Yeah, I saw it on
Twitter. You stole it. So you stole that from someone else. But that is actually
very true, isn't it?
Because Northampton, you think they were in the champ? They got relegated how long ago? Like a long time ago. Yeah. They've been on a big rebuild, and traditional English club.
Alex Waller's last game. 350.
Courtney Laws, Lewis Ludlam, Alex Mooney's off as well.
Mooney.
Paul Hill's off to Edinburgh. There's a change of guard there, but you're right. Ollie Slightholme, his dad, English legend.
Yeah.
So
Furbank, we love him and his dad.
Tom Pearson, English, brought him in from London Irish.
I like Pearson. He rinsed me once when we were doing a Q&A before an England game. He had some chat, and I was good man, like him. What about when he gave? Did you see the clip going around before the semi-final of Pearson when Sarries played Northampton in the league a few weeks back? So there's a clip going around on
social media, but I'm not on there as much as you, clearly.
Oh, I spend a bit of time in the toilet hiding from the kids, so that's where I do it all. And there was a thing where I think Saints won a free kick or a penalty from a scrum, and he gave it the big, like the Sarries celebration.
You don't like that, do you?
The celebration?
Yeah.
Plastic energy, that's what the staff was
because that's you at Worcester and Newcastle, and you signed for London Irish where...
What are you on about?
Well, that's what I mean.
I celebrated once in a blue moon. We got about 4 games, pal.
That's what I mean. So
but not for a knock-on. Like, you celebrate when you win a game.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah. Well, I knocked it on half the time with my gloves. But there was a clip going around of him doing the plastic energy screaming for a scrum. And then Faz came over and said something. He's like, what do you want, son? I like Tom Pearson. He's a good lad. Puts it about as well.
So actually, what you look at the whole Northampton story, the fact that they've brought in guys in from the cold, as of Bath, but how many have they brought in? Ollie Lawrence, Ted Hill. There's a few here. Berger Odendahl as well from Wasps.
Finn Smith from Worcester.
So they're good deed.
Tom Pearson from London Irish. It's a hard one to call. See, I love Lee Blackett.
You have to pick one.
Love is strong.
All right.
I like Lee Blackett a lot. He's a great bloke. I like Sam Vesti a lot.
Who are we following?
But then Rob's convinced me.
Me too.
Rob has convinced me that Bath are just there with a checkbook. But then we're speaking to Ollie Lawrence. He's a great lad.
But I've got nothing wrong with that.
No.
Oh, gosh, where are we going? There's an all-you-can-eat Chinese in Northampton. They're a town, not a city.
I shouldn't like Northampton. It's close to Leicester.
But Cov City played at Northampton Football Club,
didn't
they, when they went through all that carnage with the stadium?
I'm going to go... I've got a mate at work who's a massive Bath fan, so I'm going to go Northampton. The Leicester fans will hate me for that, but... Is this who we think are winning or who we're supporting?
No, who you're supporting.
Oh, it's tough to say Northampton, isn't it?
Say it, you've just said it.
I've said it. I'll go Northampton. You're all about the money.
For that reason, I'll go Bath. And Finn's there. And Cam Redpath's there. And Andy and Stevie Scott.
Andy Robinson could be a Premiership winner, James.
So that's who we want to win. So you're going Northampton, I'm going Bath. There's nothing in it. So Northampton fans, you can hate me all you like. But we've got to pick one. Rob, who are you going?
Bath.
After all that. That's my boy. That a boy. Who do you think's going to win?
Who do we think's going to win? I don't know, seeing Ted Hill, how good he was. Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go Saints. They've played big semi-final this year I think that's given them a springboard. They've beaten the Sarries. They've got that monkey off the back because Saracens are a champion team and are used to winning big games. I'm going to go Saints. I like Furbank. love Fairbank.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
It doesn't matter who you love now. This isn't love. This is like analytical who we think, but it is a 50-50, and we tweet something out, and then people were like,
that aged well.
Yeah, that aged well.
Bath put about 40 on the Northampton second team a few weeks ago, James.
I'm going to say Northampton as well.
Yeah.
Top of the log, and the reasons you've just said, playing Leinster, 3 big wins against Saracens this year. Not that this matters, we're nitpicking. Nits. So Northampton
to win it.
Rob?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you want Bath, but you think Northampton. You got all bases covered, Jim.
That's what I do. And I can be manipulated either way, and I'll probably change my mind when it comes to match day as well.
Pod.
Rugby pod.